welcome to part 2. Thank you for checking out another one of my ghetto-ass documentaries. Getting back to where we were, a lot happened in 1997 for Bizzy Bone. He and his band were on top of the world with no type of guidance. Still, mourning the loss of Eazy-E, it seemed like Bone took it out on the industry. Art of War was filled with diss tracks. They dissed Do or Die, 3 6 Mafia, Twista, Crucial Conflict, and Mystical. Back in the day, pretty much every rapper had a signature flow, and it wasn't cool if someone sounded like you or was biting your style. So when someone even came close to the way Bone sounded, they would diss him. Ready for War, Look Into My Eyes, You Ain't Bone, those were all heavy diss tracks on Art of War. Bizzy also recorded but never released a song called Let's Get It On that he goes in on Mystical. Shortly after the release of Art of War, Bizzy started to drift away from the group, missing tour dates to focus on his own solo project. He also began to pop up as a featured guest on a lot of major artist records. He released a song with Adina Howard called Personal Freak. R&B boy band Immature, more recently known as IMX, released a song and a music video with Bizzy called Give Up the Ghost. The song performed well on the radio and the Billboard charts, and it's also a cool chance to hear Bizzy on the same song as Marcus Houston before his blow up. Was another huge year for Bone as a group, but 98, that was when we would truly get to see Bizzy develop as an artist and take his solo career seriously.
Heaven's Movie it's like a spiritual trip because it's God watching everything that we do and knowing that and being all-knowing about that. That's why I call it Heaven's Movie. It's like eyes watching every step. He tunes into your channel because we all have electricity in our bodies. I believe that's part of our kinetical energy, which is part of our soul, which lies in the eyes.
Heaven's Movie would be the title of Bizzy's debut album. The recording process was extremely strenuous. Recording most of the album in Nashville, Tennessee, Bizzy was locked in and focused. Ruthless, on the other hand, wasn't in a hurry to push a solo project. And with good reason. Bone had already shown how profitable they could be as a group, so why break up a good thing? Fortunately for Bizzy, he signed before he was even 18, so the label eventually got behind him and pushed his product. But it took Bizzy taking them to court and suing them for his solo rights. The first single released off Heaven's Movie was a track called Thug's Cry. Thug's Cry has one of the most spectacular visuals I have ever seen. The music video is phenomenal. The budget was close to $1 million and featured cameos from Maya, Dub C, Mac 10, and the rest of Bone. The video takes place in some random desert at a prison that Bizzy is being released from.
How did you get Maya in the Thug's Cry video? I fucking paid her. You know what I'm saying? I fucking paid her money. So yeah.
Thug's Cry didn't see the success that the label had hoped for. The song was a classic, and it was raw, but it was a bit too evil for the industry. So for the second single, they decided to go on what they thought would be a safer bet. After the highly successful song Crossroads, Nobody Could Stop Me was the closest thing. So that's what they picked. Nobody Can Stop Me is an inspirational song that tells the tale of Bizzy's rough upbringing. Bone had always been known for their unique artwork when it came to albums. Heaven's Movie artwork was dope, but what stood out more than that was the thank you section. For those of you too young to know, often included in a CD, the artist would take a paragraph or so to shout out or give credit to people that helped them along their journey. Heaven's Movie had a thank you section along with a fuck you section. I'm gonna let my dudes over at Beyond the Harmony give you the breakdown. If you never checked out Beyond the Harmony YouTube channel, you've been sleeping.
Thank yous. God for Jesus, my children for strength, Granny Rose, my sisters for their support, my little brother Capo, Mr. Majesty, Q Loco, Scales, Lil Nina Ross, Eddie B, Eddie Pistachio, Pistoli Mustache, the weed from the homies. Mike Smoove, Meniski Mobbin, Black Hole of Watts, Compton for the birth of Eazy-E, Afeni Shakur for all the support, Rick Walter, Nashville radio personality, Jupiter Joe, the flyest white man behind $1 million board, Chris, the other flyest white man. Fuck it, to all the white people and black people who hate me, I'm ready for whatever. Bless the children who could stand on their own, Big B, Brian Parker, BB Connection, I've come home to get you. Big Tone, can't leave you out on this here space age pimpin'. Columbus, Cleveland, fuck it, the whole planet. Canardo Davis, let's sue the world. Murray and Micah, the Sharp Brothers, Maisha and Monique for social studies. Get at me on the web. My regime, they fall off every day, so I say no names. Cliff Cotrari from Relativity, Bone Thugs and Harmony. I want to be rich. Thug Love, Jesus for the Sacrifice, and all those who support me, positive and negative. Oh, everybody the fuck else? Think with your head and not with your heart. Lockdown love to Robert Ulysses Floyd and political, physical, and spiritual prisoners. So now, let's reverse it and see what he says on the flip side. As above, so below. Thank yous. I mean fuck yous. Black Widow for running ruthless to the floor. Paul McCartney for making me take that shit off my album just because we broke the Beatles record. Seals and Croft for despising hip-hop. I wouldn't bless you with the air from my lungs on your shitty-ass beat if you kissed my ass from here to Costa Rica. All rappers who use anything but talent to sell records, to that little pack of people I see huddled up thinking about fucking me up while I am sitting in VIP smoking one. I am watching you. Those who never gave me a chance, child molesters, rapists, killers of babies, we are all God's children. And those who walk in the physical, not in the spiritual, and bitch-made people who wake up and put foundation on their face, that shit is loose and very gay. You know you need Jesus. To the women who used me and tried to break my heart, what doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. And to those who stepped to me and wanted to physically do damage to my vessel, you got knocked the fuck out, man. Matter of fact, squash all that shit I just said. Have a blessed day. Thank you.
What did Paul McCartney make you take off Heaven's movie? Nothing. The goddamn punk-ass label didn't even call the dude to get a goddamn clearance. We getting clearances for Collins. We getting clearances for Mariah. We getting clearances for Pac and for Biggie. And these goddamn suckers wouldn't even call the man.
Heaven's movie only contained 13 tracks, and 4 of those songs were under a minute long. The reason for this was due to sample clearance. The label had failed to retain all the necessary rights. Instead of replacing these songs or delaying the album to try to get proper permission, the label for some reason went on and released Heaven's movie. Still, it peaked at number 3 on Billboard Top 200 chart and went gold within a month. Not bad when you consider all the circumstances. The album definitely had some great music. Songs like The Roof is on Fire, Meniski Mobbin', and Demons Surround Me are still getting played in my rotation today. My favorite song on the album is a song called On the Freeway, and in my opinion definitely should have been picked as the lead single.
She's riding on the highway, she's riding on the highway, she's riding on the highway, be careful, careful. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Didn't matter. You know, E would give us the freedom and the artistic freedom to do what we wanted to do musically. And jumping from that to, you know, having songs taken off and things erased in the studio while you're gone, thinking everything is supposed to be this way, and then it comes out, when the album comes out, it's a whole nother way. It's just, you know, it's sort of treacherous.
A bootleg release called Hell's Movie has leaked onto the internet since. Hell's Movie contains a lot of music in its entirety that was meant for Heaven's Movie. Hell's Movie also contains some unreleased music. It's definitely worth giving a listen. Bizzy would appear on 3 major soundtracks during this era. The first being from the motion picture Blade, starring Wesley Snipes. The song is called Blade for Glory. His second soundtrack appearance was on a movie called The PJs. The song featured was called Way Too Strong and is a classic.
Now when Mike Epps walked up to me with Red Granny, was like, yo, what's going on? My name is Mike Epps. You know, I'm a comedian, this, that, and the third. What's going on? Who are you? I know you somebody. I'm like, what's good? I'm Bizzy Bone Thugs and Horn. How you doing, Bleed? What's happening? You're like, nah, man, you know, I'm just out here Friday. I had a huge song in this particular movie, and it was called Friday.
Bizzy would get arrested again. Accused of dragging a man down a flight of stairs, Bizzy faced first-degree assault charges in Columbus, Ohio.
And the CO. So he's supposed to be coming up to my office and, you know, giving me a piece of his mind. So I'm patiently up there waiting. You know, we all out there, guns and shit, you know what I'm saying, just waiting on this nigga. It was a no-show. Come to find out, this nigga is a barber. You know, a couple more days pass and my homeboy like, dude, this cat's still talking shit. I'm like, all right, man, this nigga is threatening me, man. Let me go up here and go see what this cat is about. I walk into the barbershop. I'm like, yo, such and such a so-and-so in there. So I ain't gonna tell y'all niggas this nigga's name, you know what I'm saying? Because blah, da, 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 da. So anyway, I walk up in there and there he go in the corner. I'm like, yo, what's up? Let me holler at you, my nigga. I'm gonna talk to you outside. And you know what I'm saying? So we standing at the top of the motherfucking steps. So I'm like, yo, what's this shit? You talking? You like, nigga, you coming all up in here like you gonna smoke? I'm like, but he ain't say smoke. He was like you got a problem or something like that. I'm like, yeah, nigga, it sound like you got the problem. Like, I don't even know you, my nigga. Like, why you got my name in your mouth? Like, you supposed to be coming up to my office, like you threatening me and shit. What's the deal? So, you know, he starts switching his feet, you know, so I start switching my feet. You know, was we southpaw niggas? We right-handed. How we moving, nigga? You know what I'm saying? So, after that, he started trying to make a commotion. Like, oh, man, yeah. I'm like, dude, we can go down the steps and fight, my nigga. Like, if that's what we doing. You feel me? If not, then I'm finna go. I got weed to smoke and shit to do. You know what I'm saying? So, he got to trying to make a big ass commotion and shit, and then Big Animal just got tired of the nigga talking, and Big Animal was like, nigga, come on downstairs. And then the nigga started screaming. He was like, these niggas trying to kill me. These niggas trying, I'm just looking at this, I'm down. I'd already walked down the steps and said, nigga, come on down the steps. Animal was like, come on, meet that nigga down the steps. I'm like, it's gonna be a fair fight. My niggas ain't finna jump in, you feel me? This nigga got to screaming, holding on to the rails and shit. This nigga trying to kill me. I was standing at the bottom of the steps looking at him like, why is you screaming? Like, what is you screaming for? Nigga, like, fuck is your problem? So all of his niggas started coming up out of the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, yo, what's up? I'm like, my nigga Animal was like, I beat all you niggas up. Come on, one by one, I beat all you niggas up. Them niggas was like, we good. We good, big dude. We was just saying, no, don't be coming up in our establishment, no. But they was good. So, you know, we rolled out and shit. That nigga, you know, we talking shit in the car and shit. Like, so next thing I know, my homeboy, he come up to me and shit. The nigga that was telling me about the beef, who really told me what this cat was saying, he was like, B, this nigga got the motherfucking po-po up there. This nigga is filing a fucking report. I said, what? Oh, like, this nigga done got the police involved. I'm gonna have to kill this nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm getting nervous and shit. You know, I smoke all the way to, this cat took me to court. Like, I'm like, really sitting in the motherfucking courtroom. So I get with my team and I tell my team everything that happened. I'm like, I'm in court, like, against this nigga. This nigga's talking about, first of all, he's trying to press charges to find me guilty. And then he's trying to, he already got the other motherfucker to get the I forget what they call that shit, but like the motherfucker that's coming in for the other charges, like to get the money. First, you gotta be found guilty and then they come in for some money. So, anywho, I'm sitting down and shit. They get to calling my people on the stand and shit. They call Animal on the stand. Oh my God. Now, I already told y'all about Animal. Animal from Valdosta, you know what I'm saying, Georgia. Animal ain't like, Animal country dude, but the coolest cat you ever wanna meet. He gonna keep it 100% real with you. So they sent Animal down and shit, right? So they said, hey, so what's your name? He said, my name is Animal. Like, what he said, what's your government name? That is my government name, Animal. Right then I said, man, I'm finna go to jail. Nigga, tell these niggas your name. Who I put the check to, motherfucker? It ain't Animal, motherfucker. So the next thing he said was, so what do you do for a living, Animal? He said, well, I bodyguard for different clubs in Los Angeles, and also I'm just a personal bodyguard of Bizzy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. And also, I'm a chef. So the prosecutor says, so you're a chef, so what school did you go to? And I'm saying, I just be watching a lot of TV and shit. Like, nigga, I told him, I said, everybody started laughing at this shit. So anyway, so he said, okay, Animal, could you tell us your version of the story? He said, well, Bizzy went up there, he went to ask the nigga, did he want some beef? What's up with you, nigga? And he talking just like this, like holding no punches. And little nigga, he started shifting his feet like he wanted to fight Bizzy. So Bizzy said, let's step down the steps and let's go. And the nigga started acting like he was coming down the steps. So I grabbed the nigga to help him come down the steps. Easy. So the prosecutor says, could you have hurt this man? He said, shit, I could have ripped both his arms off his body and beat him half to death with them motherfuckers. Everybody in the courtroom was like, damn. So Animal get off the stand. I'm just looking at this nigga with the stink eye like, nigga, if I go to jail behind this fucking testimony, nigga, man, I'm gonna do something to you. Mad in the motherfucker. So we all go, we cut out to the bar up the street. So we cut out to the bar or whatnot. We drinking, and the prosecutor was like, he did so good because he showed that y'all showed restraint, that it was good. He did good. Trust me, B, he did good. So, push come to shove, I made it out free. I was found not guilty on all the charges.
Bizzy would score 2 more high-profile collaborations this year, one being with Puff Daddy, Angels with Dirty Faces. Nas actually wrote P. Diddy's verses. Dr. Doctor off of DJ Unique's debut album Ghetto Street Pharmacist. The other 4 members of the group, Lazy, Crazy, Wish, and Flesh, were still heavily pushing the brand. Doing some big collaborations themselves, Bizzy was noticeably absent from songs with Mariah Carey and Master P. Bizzy was still considered an active member, and publicly there were no issues. Up to this point, his only real beef was with Ruthless Records and Tamika Wright. The label was really raking in the bread at this time. They released a compilation album called The Collection Volume 1, which was pretty much just a premature greatest hits album with the addition of a few unreleased and remixed songs. It went platinum, which was enough motivation for the label to do it again and release a second volume.
I just wasn't cool with the label, you know, and that's where we kind of started separating. Business came into play. You know, I was still young. I was still like, fuck that. We need our masters. Fuck her. Fuck this place. Let's shoot this bitch up. We got goons. Everybody, let's kill these motherfuckers and let's get our shit. You know what I'm saying? And they're just looking at me like, B, man, what the fuck are you talking about, my nigga? You know, this is our dream. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck them masters. You know what I'm saying? Fuck them points. Fuck them percentages. We got a little money. We ain't never had no money before. Now I had kids. You know, I had like 3 children. And everybody in my ear like, nigga, you need to be getting your masters. Nigga, you need to be doing this. Nigga, you need to be owning this. And
you was right, though.
Yeah, at the end of the day. But I'm grateful that, you know, that what they did because, you know, right.
1999, Bizzy would reconnect with his brothers. At this point in time, Flesh and Bone was going through a lot of legal troubles. By now, everyone knew it was only a matter of time before he would receive a lengthy sentence. This within itself motivated Bone to come back together. Another motivation was Crazy Bone's debut album, Thug Mentality. Ruthless had done a great job handling this album. They've done better with promotion, clearing samples, really everything. So that definitely restored some faith with the group. And technically, they still owed Ruthless 2 group albums anyway, so it was bound to happen.
Oh, bound to? Man, them niggas broke up a long time ago, dog.
What the fuck you talking about? Shit, nigga.
I'll tell you one thing.
Go pick up the hot new album from Bone Thugs and Harmony in stores now. BTNH Resurrection. 16 fat new joints from the original Thugsters. Lazy, Crazy, Bizzy, Wish, and Flesh, including the smash hit Resurrection. The Source magazine gives the new album 4 mics, so you know it's gotta be hot. You gotta have it. Bone Thugs and Harmony, BTNH, Resurrection.
Where the fiends at?
In stores now.
Tell me what you think about the internet and what it seemed important to you guys. Is it, or is that just, you know?
Yeah, it's like the internet is important to everybody. You know, it's a way to get shit to Southeast Asia and all type of shit. So that too. But you know what I'm saying? It just reach a whole bunch of people. And it's immediate. It's another, like when he went, it's like another place where I forgot what I was saying. It's like damn, what was I saying?
All right. No, you know what? If you're smoking, I don't know if I can use it.
From the outside looking in, it appeared Ruthless had done their part in investing in BTNH Resurrection. There were 4 music videos produced, and production on the beats were handled by DJ Unique. There weren't any high-budget features, but with 5 members in the group, contributions really aren't necessary. The project is a classic, and exactly what every real Bone fan wanted at the time. They kept it straight thug, they harmonized, they gave us a weed anthem, they even gave us an ecstasy anthem. The album would go platinum within a month of its release, but technology at the time definitely hurt its sales. In the year 2000, Napster and other similar illegal downloading platforms began to take over the music industry, and lack of anticipated revenue caused more beef between the group and the label. Other than appearing in the music videos, Bizzy was absent from a lot of the promotion and the tour. He refused to record a final group project until he was better compensated. After Flesh was sent to prison, the group really began to fall apart. Bizzy was working still, pushing his solo career, doing features with and without bandmates. Collaborating with Snoop and Silky Fine, Your Style, he would see the Billboard charts again.
I don't need no click to suck my own because my shit is just so nasty. Through the Ouija to the Wheezy title AIDs. You better believe it, believe me, I can see it. Still sitting in the chillin' and ain't you eat it. What a smash with the cash, Ain't nothing like money in a Ziploc bag, Smash with the cash,
As far as Flesh and Bone goes, he's the soul of this thing. You know, he's the one who bought the bus tickets for us to get here. Lazy Bone, he's the leader. He's the spokesman. You know, he's always been that as far as Bone Thugs and Harmony goes. Crazy, he's the chemist. He's the scientist of the group. Wish and Bone, he's the heart. He's the heart of the group. He's the strength behind it. Come on, let's do this. Let's just stick together, stick this bitch out, and let's do this. And you know, I don't like to blow my own design, so you know I could. but I believe that I bring a certain harmony to the group. Question came up about sex symbol. I really don't consider myself a sex symbol. Now, my mother would say different, but as far as sex symbol goes, nah, I really don't think that, but I do appreciate people saying I got fairly good looks and things like that. I'm flattered.
I love Bizzy like my little brother, like a little son, like a baby brother. Like, it ain't nothing for me to reconcile, you know what I mean? It's just like, even him, our only differences is I think we seen the money thing a little different. You know, I always was the front man for Bone Thugs and Harmony when it came to getting us deals and handling business and things like that. My only thing was I had to stay in the frying pan the whole time. I ain't had time to bail out. Like, oh, shit ain't going right, so fuck that, I ain't coming to the show. Or I couldn't punish Bone like that.
Yeah.
He didn't understand he made it a 1,000 times harder for me to make plays for Bone Thugs and Harmony because one of the most outstanding members of the group wasn't cooperating, was having a problem. So I don't have a problem with him. I understand what his gripe was, but the only thing for me is I had to deal with the issues. I couldn't turn my back on the issues. I couldn't disappear for a year or 2 years.
At this point, it's easy to see both sides' grievances. Rightfully so, Bizzy was definitely feeling himself around this time. His cockiness may have rubbed off the wrong way. His argument has always been for higher compensation, and it appears Lazy has always agreed with him in that regard, but they definitely disagree about the approach. Lazy's argument is that they're basically less marketable when Bizzy is inconsistent, and Bizzy's argument is more like, well, hell, I'll show up to that bullshit if I get paid right. And honestly, I feel both sides, and I'm sure they had 100 different people in their ears. Bizzy was still getting busy. Recording his second solo project, The Gift, Bizzy was also making an acting debut starring in 2 direct-to-video films. The first being Jacked Up, which has a super cool storyline. It's got a heart-throbbing ending, so I don't want to spoil anyone from checking it out for themselves. Bizzy's character is basically a thug from Columbus, Ohio, and I would definitely consider him the antagonist or the villain of the film.
Get out the car, man! Don't shoot!
Why'd you kill my dad?
What's up, killer?
I shot a man.
All-out manhunt for the suspects who carjacked and murdered.
What about the family? I took somebody's father, man. Somebody's husband.
Just deal with it.
I'm turning myself in, Sean. Ain't nothing but a killer. Feeling guilty, man. Want to turn himself into the police.
You better check your boy, but I do.
Jungle with nice guys, finish last. My city about murder. You gotta be the first to blast. Money, home, love,
Whatever you do in the dark, it's always gonna come to the light.
A movie that I shot called The Color of a Dream, directed by Marlon Perry, starring James Haven, which is Angelina Jolie's brother, also Sherman Hemsley. From where? The Jeffersons. Said we're moving on. Marlon Perry was a director. He mysteriously was killed. What I think he was killed. People say he jumped out of a window, which was suicide, but I don't believe that. And somehow the movie disappeared. And nobody knew where the movie was. So I put in all of this work, did all of this stuff for this movie, and it didn't come out. It looked as if it never happened.
Like, sometimes people tease me a lot, and I just want to walk and stuff, like, see the other teenagers walk.
Now, what's the story about you and this fella Bizzy Bone? What about that?
Ooh, I want to meet him so badly.
You do? So, have you ever tried to meet him before?
Yes, but I had tried, like, contests and radios and stuff, but it never worked.
Never did that, huh?
No.
So if you ever met him, what would you think?
I think I'll cry.
You would?
Yeah.
Get the Kleenex ready, because guess what, Patriot? Here he is, Bizzy Bone. And he wants to meet you.
Bizzy's come up is not one of simplicity. He grew up right in front of our eyes, but none of us walked in his shoes. That's where I'm going to end episode 2. I'm trying to keep these videos below 30 minutes, so that could mean this could be a very long series. I know the Flesh and Bone series I did was only 2 episodes, but it was a lot more difficult to find out information on Flesh. If you're a super Bone Thug fanatic like myself, check out other documentaries on my channel. I got videos on here with topics like record deals Bone Thugs almost signed, collaborations Bone Thugs have done outside the genre of hip-hop. I got a short special about beefs that Bone were in that you may not know about. I got a special about unreleased music they've done that we'll probably never get. Just a bunch of more random ass ghetto documentaries I've done that really only true Bone Thugs fans probably feel. So thanks for checking me out. Peace.